I have mentioned that I was back and then I disappeared for a few more months, and for that I truly apologize. It was never my intention. When you say you're nostalgic, what you're really saying is you really wish that you weren't in the time and place you're in right now. I think I was suffering from a case of don't really want to be here in this time and place for the last few months. Healing is a cyclical process. It's not a straight line. It's like a spiral or a cycle. And for that reason, I think I had to go through another phase of healing before I could sit down and actually feel like this was all worth a goddamn. I've suffered with that in the past. What I do is not enough. Who I am is not enough. A cycle of healing that is ongoing and probably will be for the rest of my life. So when I would sit down to do videos, which I recorded about 4 and didn't post any of them, I would be coming from a place of who really gives a shit? I don't think anybody cares, you know, and not in a dramatic, like, nobody cares, like, it's fine, I'll just be over here doing nothing. Not like that. More so in a existential, what is the point of all of this kind of a way. What I was nostalgic for is the days of self-expression that wasn't commodified into making money. That's an easy thing to say for someone who isn't really producing. You know, like I'm not making documentary film style content or anything that's like super involved and requires multiple days of shooting and multiple days of editing. What I do is sit down and talk to people, make you laugh, make you think maybe, and that's enough for me at the moment anyway. When I started this channel, the whole point was to have an outlet of self-expression, to be myself, my authentic self, and to really just kind of have something going on besides being a mommy bot. I'm a creative person, and this just seemed like the best way to do that. Things got more complicated in way of sitting down and actually recording. My oldest daughter is 17, and that in itself is sort of an endurance trial of being present, helping her figure out issues, figuring out my place in those issues. So that's a lot, that's heavy. And then I have 2 younger kids, and right after my last post, we started school back again. We do online public school, I've mentioned before. Again, the nostalgia, because I long for a time when school felt like I was learning things that I needed to know. You know what I'm saying? Nowadays, it seems like a very thinly veiled game of how much busy work can we present to them, how much test taking are they able to do. It makes me kind of, again, introspective and in the existential spiral. I was longing for a time when I could look at myself in the mirror and I felt like I was still relevant and still part of the game, which I totally am. But we all have those moments of feeling like, the fuck is the point of all of this anyway? What is the point? Why are we here? What is all this crazy chaos happening since the pandemic and ongoing? Things are just escalating in weird ways, in very challenging ways. Some of us don't even want to be doing what we're doing half the time because it feels like, what's the point? I was caught in that. It's a cycle, it's a spiral, but it can also like whip you around and just throw you out and you're just like, oh my God. I was doing that. But on the upside, September happened and school and all that. Then in October, I was a drag version of Snagglepuss, or Dragglepuss, if you will. Insert picture here. That was really fun. November was a complete and total blur. I don't really even remember what November was about. And then December rolled around and all the holiday shenaniganry. I had to journal furiously about that and let out some negative stuff I had going on about the holidays. I'm just not a holiday person. Peace, joy, love. You're supposed to do it on one day a year. Like, I am all about doing it every day. Plus also, it's the opposite. If you've been out shopping or doing anything around the holidays, people getting in physical verbal fights, people getting in car wrecks, getting in fights, trying to run me off the road because I didn't turn into a turn that they thought I was going to turn into, and so they tried to like honk and run me off the road. That I do not enjoy, and that also kind of puts me into like a self-preservation mode that I realized. Again, nostalgic for a time when holidays meant something. Even if you do the Santa thing. The bar is just set so high for daily expectations with kids. No matter what you do, a family vlog, going to Hawaii for one of the members' birthdays or something crazy, and then they look at you and go, I think you can do better. I'm a simple person. I like to eat good food and have good conversations and spend time with people that I love. I don't need all the fancy foo-for-all. Don't need it, don't want it. I also have 3 kids, and so I gotta kind of split the diff and try not to be like a grumpy puss about it. So I feel like I made some breakthroughs. I let it go. I let some stuff go. If you can just pinpoint what you're pissed off about, just say it out loud to yourself in the mirror. Like whatever method works the best for you, but just call it out. It doesn't have such a stranglehold on you anymore. Pro tip from me to you. But then my dad came to visit for the holidays, like he usually do. We watched Men in Black 1, 2, and 3. We watched Oceans like 11, 8, and then 12. We made German minestrone soup with like sausage in it. It was really good. We made sesame tofu. That was not what I wanted it to be, but we still ate it. We enjoyed each other's company. And also, the pièce de la résistance, my dad, of all people, who is very much blue-collar, athletic kind of guy, suggested that we all get some oil paints and a canvas and watch a Bob Ross tutorial, which that has been a lifelong dream of mine. I used to watch Bob Ross when I was little, and just his encouraging words of you can do whatever you want, art is for everyone, happy little trees. Just his demeanor on screen was so comforting to me and millions of other people. And the fact that my dad is wanting to foray into creative things is amazing because he never has before. We did a kind of a winter mountain scene. It's pretty good, right? Look at that happy little tree right there. Look at these happy little mountains. It looks like some type of larkspur, you know, a flower. Those are supposed to be trees in the distance. And look at these little, they look like pipe cleaners kind of, but you get the idea. We didn't have all the right tools, you know, because the first time you do it, you don't really know what you need. Then we made it a point to go get the tools that we would need for another one, and we decided that we'll be adding that to our traditions of when my dad visits, is doing a Bob Ross painting. And also, if you haven't seen the documentary about Bob Ross on Netflix, I highly recommend it. You need to know the tea about the licensed Bob Ross products. You need to know about that. I'll link it in the description like I do. Okay. And then, you know, it's kind of a nice glaze on top. I miss the days when YouTube was just self-expression and it wasn't tied into, you know, marketing and things like that. To reiterate, I'm not on any social medias besides Facebook. And the only reason I'm on Facebook is to keep in touch with people, but I kind of went dark on Facebook last year, right around my birthday. I haven't really been on there. There's some oracles and some, you know, like astrological posts that I really appreciate and that are very good for me. So I do that, but I don't really post. I just decided to take a big step back. But at the same time, that kind of cut me off from all of my people that I had been keeping in touch with. It just felt like the right thing to do at the time. I don't play the Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, if that's even a thing anymore. And I certainly don't do TikTok. I have respect for TikTok, but at the same time, guys, we're getting to the point where we can't watch a long video, which is like a 5-minute video. We feel like that's too long. I don't think anything good can come of that. Think forward in your mind. What good can come of having an attention span like this? I don't know. But I respect those who are on social media and have made a go of it, made careers out of it. That's great. I just long for simpler times, and I'm here to represent a simpler time when you just had a conversation with someone, you traded thoughts and feelings, you entertained them just through the nature of your personality, not through the contrived kind of devices you use to make them like you so that you can make money off of them. I sound like I'm talking shit to every content creator that makes money on here, and I'm not. I really am not. What sucks is that it seems like the only reason I am here is to compete with people of that nature, because if I don't, no one sees my content. It took me back. It took me back a few months, and I just, like I said, I recorded a few videos. There was a couple monumental things that I really wanted to talk about. One of them was in December as well. At the beginning of the month, I got to go see Alaska Thunderfuck perform her Red for Filth tour, and it was amazing. I do have to do an ode to and tell you the full story though, because it wasn't what I was expecting, but it was really good. So stay tuned for that video. I wanted to quite a few times jump on here and talk to you just because I enjoy doing this, but at the same time it was like I said, I was just kind of roped into the does it matter, does anyone give a shit kind of a thing. At the end of the day, no matter what you do, if you're not doing it for yourself, you're not doing it for the right reasons. I had to remember that long tunnel of figuring things out, being confronted with change, being confronted with deeper levels of healing, and trying to rise to the occasion the best I could, all while raising 3 kiddos and so on and so forth. So yeah, but I really did miss doing this, sitting down and talking and, you know, just having the connection with myself. It's a form of self-care what I'm doing right now, believe it or not. Open way to express myself, and I encourage all of you to have that if you don't have it in whatever way that you need it, because it is important. But sometimes we got to go away from it and come back before it means anything. That's what I did. Just so we're on the same page, content creators that I've been really into whilst I was away. Richard Ayoade. Richard Ayoade is both Travel Man and Gadget Man. You might know him from the IT Crowd on the BBC and the Big Quiz Show, which he is hilarious on. In the States, he does a lot of voiceover work for Apple and Onion. I believe he's Onion. And also he was the villain in the movie Bad Guys. His sense of humor is tremendous, but he's also very smart and very witty, but he has a lot of heart as well. But that's all wrapped up in like this curmudgeon rapping that's just so fun to watch. I also rediscovered one of my all-time favorite musicians, Jonathan Bree. Because sometimes when you find someone and you love them so much, and then you just like grab onto them, like run them into the ground for months, I have to leave them alone, and then sometimes you just leave them alone for too long and you forget them. But I refound his music. If you haven't heard his song You're So Cool, go do it right now. I'll wait. I believe the channel is Lil Chief Records. Amazing artist. Been vibing to him a lot. And there's a few others, but I'm sure I'll get into that at another time. And as far as this new year, Happy New Year. I am very excited to further explore our freedoms and move past a lot of the trappings that we've been stuck in for a long, long time, perhaps since the beginning of civilization. I'm excited for that to continue and for us to continue learning how to love each other better. As far as my content moving forward, I'm not going to make any promises about when you'll see posts from me. I am going to get back into more of a regular schedule, but I'm not going to stress it if I don't feel it that week. I'm just going to save it up and have an even better one the next week. And all of you out there, I really do appreciate that you watch my content. And I encourage you to leave a comment, say hi. That's the only thing that's missing, I would say, for me, is the interaction with you guys. So if you're feeling it, get down in the talkie box, let me know what's up. But mainly just come back and watch my content if I do something for you. We went to the theaters and saw Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. It is an amazing movie. I know that animated movies aren't everyone's cup of tea, but Into the Spider-Verse animation with the Puss in Boots storyline, and they just knocked it out of the park. I was crying several times within the movie, which is not uncommon in an animated movie because I love them, but I highly recommend it. So check it out. I think it's available on YouTube. Actually, you can purchase it for streaming. I just wanted to catch up with you guys and say hey and let you know why I was gone for a while, and let you know that if you're feeling nostalgic, it means you probably need to do a little work on why you don't want to be present, you want to be in the past. But it's actually good work. It'll set you free. I will talk to you again soon. Hope you're having a wonderful January. I'll speak to you again soon.